गोपीजन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी। गोपीजन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी। गोपीजन वल्लभा जय यशोधनन्दना जय व्रज जनरञ्जना जय यशोधनन्दना जय यशोधनन्दना जय व्रज जनरञ्जना जय यशोधनन्द। यमुनतीरावनचारी जय कुञ्जविहारी। यमुना यमुनतीरावनचारी जय कुञ्जविहारी। जय यमुनतीरावन राधा माधवा जय कुञ्जविहारी। जय राधा माधवा जय राधा माधवा जय कुञ्जविहारी। जय हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudev Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pariyarajagacharya Stotra Sadashi Srimad Bhakti Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pariyarajagacharya Stotra Sadashi Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Śrīla Prabhupada ki Shri Guru Parampara ki Sadgosam Vrinda ki Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Anand Kudi Vaishnava Bhakta Vrinda ki Samved Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Prem Sikho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vāsadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kundi Giri Govardhana ki Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai Tulsi Bhakti Devi ki Mayapur Navadvip Vrindavan Jagannath Puri Madhur Dwarka Dham ki Shri Radha Madhav Ashtasaki Vrinda ki Shri Panchatattva Bhagavan ki Prahlad Narasimhadev Bhagavan ki Purushottama Adhigamas Vrata ki Śrīla Prabhupada ki Kandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Śrīla Gurudev ki Tatai Gaur Premanande all glorious assembled devotees all glorious assembled devotees all glorious assembled devotees all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga all glories to Śrīla Prabhupada Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीम्. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text number 4. ātma-tattva-viśuddhi-arthaṁ yadāha bhagavān ṛtam brahmaṇe darśayan rūpam avyalīka-vratādṛtaḥ ātma-tattva-viśuddhi-arthaṁ yadāha bhagavān ṛtam brahmaṇe darśayan rūpam avyalīka-vratādṛtaḥ ātma-tattva-viśuddhi-arthaṁ yadāha bhagavān ṛtam brahmaṇe darśayan rūpam avyalīka-vratādṛtaḥ. Bhagavān ṛtam brahmaṇe darśayan rūpam avyalīka-vratādṛtaḥ ātma-tattva-viśuddhi-arthaṁ yadāha bhagavān ṛtam brahmaṇe darśayan rūpam viśuddhi-arthaṁ yadāha bhagavān ṛtam brahmaṇe darśayan rūpam avyalīka-vratādṛtaḥ. ātma-tattva-viśuddhi-arthaṁ yadāha bhagavān ṛtam brahmaṇe darśayan rūpam avyalīka-vratādṛtaḥ ātma-tattva-viśuddhi-arthaṁ yadāha bhagavān ṛtam brahmaṇe darśayan rūpam avyalīka-vratādṛtaḥ ātma-tattva-viśuddhi-arthaṁ yadāha bhagavān ṛtam brahmaṇe darśayan rūpam avyalīka-vratādṛtaḥ. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Word to word meaning: ātma-tattva, the science of God, or that of living entity; viśuddhi, purification; artham, goal; yet that which aha, said; bhagavān, the personality of Godhead; ṛtam, in reality; brahmaṇe, unto Lord Brahma; darśayan, by showing; rūpam, eternal form; avyalīka, without any deceptive motive; vrata, vow; ādṛtaḥ, worshipped. Translation, please repeat. O King, the personality of Godhead, being very much pleased with Lord Brahma because of his non-deceptive penance in bhakti-yoga, presented his eternal and transcendental form before Brahma, and that is the objective goal for purifying the conditioned soul. Purport: ātma-tattva is a science of both God and living entity. Both the Supreme Lord and the living entity are known as ātmā. The Supreme Lord is called Paramātmā, and the living entity is called ātmā, the Brahma or the jīva. Both the Paramātmā and jīvātmā, being transcendental to the material energy, are called ātmā. So, Śukadeva Gosvāmī explains this verse with the aim of purifying the truth of both the Paramātmā and jīvātmā. Generally, people have many wrong conceptions about both of them. The wrong conception of jīvātmā is to identify the material body with the pure soul, and the wrong conception of Paramātmā is to think him on an equal level with the living entity. But both the misconceptions can be removed by one stroke of bhakti-yoga. Just as in the sunlight, both the sun and the world and everything within the sunlight are properly seen. In the darkness, one cannot see the sun, nor himself nor the world. But in the sunlight, one can see the sun, himself and the world around him. Śrīla Śukadeva Gosvāmī therefore says that for purification of both wrong conception, the Lord presented his eternal form before Brahmaji. Being fully satisfied by Brahmaji's non-deceptive vow of discharging bhakti-yoga. Except for bhakti-yoga, any method for realization of ātma-tattva or science of ātmā will prove deceptive in the long run. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that only by bhakti-yoga can one know him perfectly, and then one can enter into the science of God. Brahmaji undertook great penance in performing bhakti-yoga, and thus he was able to see the transcendental form of the Lord. His transcendental form is 100% spiritual, and one can see him only by spiritualized vision after proper discharge of tapasya or penance in pure bhakti-yoga. The form of the Lord manifested before Brahma is not one of the forms with which we have experience in the material world. Brahmaji did not perform such a severe type of penance just to see a form of material protection. Therefore, the question by Maharaj Parikshit about the form of the Lord is answered. The form of the Lord is Sachidananda, or eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. But the material form of the living being is neither eternal, nor full of knowledge, nor blissful. That is the distinction between form of the Lord and that of the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul, however, can regain this form of eternal knowledge and bliss simply by seeing the Lord by means of bhakti-yoga. The summary is that due to ignorance, the conditioned soul is engaged in the temporary varieties of material forms. But the Supreme Lord has no such temporary form like conditioned souls. He is always possessed of an eternal form of knowledge and bliss, and that is the difference between the Lord and the living entity. One can understand this difference by the process of bhakti-yoga. Brahma was then told by the Lord the gist of Srimad Bhagavatam in four original verses. That Srimad Bhagavatam is not the creation of mental speculators. The sound of Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental, and the resonance of Srimad Bhagavatam is as good as that of the Vedas. Thus, the topic of the Srimad Bhagavatam is the science of both the Lord and the living entity. Regular reading or hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam is also performance of bhakti-yoga, and one can attain the highest perfection simply by the association of Srimad Bhagavatam. Both Śukadeva Gosvāmī and Maharaj Parikshit attained perfection through the medium of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Sakshashurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Mukam Karodi Vācāla Pangulangāyide Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mancha kalpatarupyascha kripasindhupayevacha patithanam pavanepyo vaishnavepyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. So wishing everyone a blissful, happy Purushottama Adhigamant Vrata. So I like to take blessings of all the devotees assembled here. Hare Krishna. So this is a very beautiful verse. So yesterday Prabhuji explained very beautifully the questions asked in the previous chapter, various questions from text number 7 onwards, from the 8th chapter, 7 onwards till 23, maybe 17 verses full of questions. In some verses, multiple questions asked. So many questions. So and also like Śukadeva Gosvāmī is like narrating the story of conversation between Maitri Muni, Vidura also. Vidura also asking similar questions in the 3rd canto, in 7th chapter. Similar questions asked. So the answers for this are like expanded in the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. So many questions about the cosmology, about the varnashrama dharma, so and so many things about the Kala, Karma, living entity, Lord. So everything was answered like in the rest of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So here, so Prabhuji explained the first question was asked, so that was answered in the first 3 verses. So and then second question. So Parikshit Maharaj's second question was, what is the difference between Lord's form and the form of living entity? That was second question asked. So that is answered in this verse. So second question answered here. So here Prabhupada writes ātma-tattva-viśuddhi-arthaṁ. So here ātma-tattva refers to both the living entity and the Paramātmā. So Prabhupada also mentioned there are 2 kinds of misconceptions. One misconception is everybody thinks this material body as a self. That is one misconception. Another misconception is to think that Paramātmā is equal to jīvātmā. Jīvātmā and Paramātmā are equal. So these 2 are the 2 misconceptions about the jīvātmā and Paramātmā. So the 2 misconceptions can be eradicated just by one stroke of bhakti-yoga. Prabhupada writes in the Purport, by one stroke of bhakti-yoga, these 2 misconceptions can be eradicated, can be destroyed. So Prabhupada answers this, like Prabhupada also gives a very beautiful analogy. Sunlight. So as soon as sun rises, so we can see the sun, we can see the clouds, we can see everything, we can see everyone around us, we can see our own bodily parts. So when sunlight is not there, in the darkness we can't see our own parts. And what to speak of seeing everything. So we can't see everything. So like that. So sunlight is compared to here as bhakti-yoga. So there is a 6th canto also this analogy used, nigaram iva bhaskara. So as soon as the sun rises, all darkness gets dissipated immediately. So the ātma-tattva is both tattva, the real conception of Paramātmā and jīvātmā. So viśuddhi-arthaṁ, the purifying, the goal of purifying conditioned soul. So is to practice bhakti-yoga and to see the beautiful form of Supreme Lord. So that's the goal of purifying the conditioned soul. So yad āga bhagavān ṛtam. So and also very important word here. So in the 2nd paragraph, Śrīla Prabhupada explains how bhakti yoga is the only means. So Prabhupada quotes this verse many times. So what's the verse in Bhagavad Gita? Only by bhakti one can enter into a science of God. In the 18th chapter it comes. Bhaktiyāma vijanādi yāvān yaścāsmi tattvadaha tato māṁ tattvado ñātva viśuddhi tanantaram. So Prabhupada quotes this verse here also. So he often quotes this verse. So not by karma yoga, not by jnana yoga, so not by any method. So only by bhakti yoga. So bhakti yoga means complete dependence on Supreme Lord. Complete dependence on the mercy of the Lord. So we are giving up our personal endeavor to understand Krishna and we are completely depending on Krishna. So Krishna himself will reveal. So for to the practices of bhakti yoga. But Krishna hides himself from other practitioners. Nagam praka sarvasya yoga maya samavridaka mudoyam nabhajanadi lokama majjamavyai. So Krishna covers himself. So only for bhakti yoga, So those who are dependent on my mercy, so I will reveal to those people only. So that's why like Krishna revealed his beautiful form, eternal form and transcendental form to Lord Brahmaji. So because Brahmaji practiced non-deceptive penance. That's a very important word in this verse. Non-deceptive penance. He didn't cheat. He didn't cheat the Lord. So he could have cheated actually, because Lord in the Sarir form, he was telling tapa like that. He could have cheated very easily. Nobody seeing. He could understand by his intelligence, because his body is made of intelligence, not by earth, water, fire or ether. So he could understand by his intelligence. So the Asarir comes means the creator, whoever created me, they can see me actually what I am doing. He has that intelligence. So he performed non-deceptive penance. So truly he performed penance. He don't want to cheat the creator. And also he prayed. So I couldn't realize my own personal endeavor. So he was doing 100 years he was searching. 100 years only his lifetime, but he was searching. Then he was very fearful, lifetime going to end. So my God, till now I couldn't find the creator. Then again he comes, and then again he gives up his personal endeavor and he prays internally, "Oh creator, please reveal your form. Actually I want to do something for you. I want to do some service for you, devotion service for you, because you created me. I am indebted to you. So please reveal the purpose of my existence." So like that he prays internally. So Krishna becomes pleased by this prayer. So still not purified. No, he practice bhakti-yoga. So tapa. So this penance is not a dry penance. So this penance is completely concentrating on the Supreme. So it's a bhakti-yoga. So Brahmaji practiced bhakti-yoga. So then Krishna becomes so pleased, and then he revealed his form, beautiful form. So Brahmaji could see gradually, one by one. He could see Anantashesh, the Sheshanak in the Garbhodaka ocean. And then slowly he could see the lotus feet of the Garbhosai Vishnu. And then slowly he could see the full form of the Lord. So it's mentioned in the Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 8th chapter, how step by step gradually it was revealed. So only Krishna decides to reveal himself, then only one can see the beautiful form of the Lord. So here one of the important lessons we get, Lord's form is not material. Lord's form is transcendental. So Lord's form is eternal and transcendental. So Prabhupada also explains here, so the form of the conditioned soul is neither eternal nor blissful, nor full of knowledge. Satchidananda, Asat, Asit, Nirananda, the form of the material form of the living entity. So, but form of the spiritual form of the Supreme Lord, Ishvara Paramakrishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Nadir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Brahmaji prays. So your beautiful form is made up of eternity, knowledge, bliss. So it's eternal and transcendental form. So Brahmaji says in the Brahma Samgita also, he prays like that. So you are the cause of all the causes. Ishvara Paramakrishna, you are supreme controller. You are the cause of all the causes. So that's the difference between form of the living entity and form of the Supreme Lord. So that also answered. So in the purport. So and then whole second paragraph, Prabhupada wants to explain, only by bhakti yoga one can understand Krishna. So we can find so many verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So how many verses are there? So many in the Uddhava Gita, so many verses. So you can't achieve me by Ashtanga Yoga, you can't achieve me by dry penance, you can't achieve by charity, you can't achieve by Vedic studies. Na sadhayadi mam yogo, na sankyam dharma uddhava, not by charity, not by religious duties. Like that. And then na swadhyayas tapastyago yada bhaktir mama urjita. Yada bhaktir mama urjita. Only by bhakti I will become like subservient for those who are practicing bhakti yoga. I will become like I can be under the control of devotees. But for those who are practicing Sankhya yoga and Vedic study, austerity and charity, so these people, like I will not become under the control of these people. I will become under the control of only devotees. So that's why in the 10th canto also Krishna says, like Nayam Sukakpo Bhagavān Deginam Gopika Sutaha Jnanino Chatma Bhutanam Yada Bhaktir Vidamiha Yada Bhaktir Madamiha Nayam Sukakpo Bhagavān Deginam Gopika Sutaha. So Deginam, so here also same thing. Those who think the material body as self, I will never become under the control of, so I will never be under the control of those people. Those who think the body as self, materialistic people. So generally they think like that. So, and jnaninas chatma bhudanam, those who try to understand through mental speculation, philosophical speculation. So I will not become under the control of those people also. Jnanis, karmis and jnanis are yogis. So I will never be under control of those people. Yada bhaktir madamiha. So but those who are practicing bhakti, so I will be under the control of them. So they can purchase me. I will sell myself to them. So Brahmaji also offers prayers in the 10th canto, like how just by Shravanam process, just by hearing the glories of the Lord, Sthane Siddha Shuddhigadam Tanuvan Manobi E Prayaso Ajita Jido Apiyas Trailokyam. So Krishna is called as Ajita, one who is unconquerable. So he is not very easily conquerable, but he becomes easily conquerable by anyone whoever sincerely tries to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, whoever sincerely tries to hear the glories of the Lord. This one activity is enough. So Krishna that is known as Ajita, he will become Jita. So for that, so Brahmaji says one who don't have to change his external designation, his external position. Sthan is Chita. Whatever you are, you can continue. So externally, you don't have to change your position. Only one activity you have to add. We have to add only one activity. Shravanam, faithfully hearing the glories of the Lord. This one activity is enough. So Krishna comes under the control of those devotees. So and also Brahmaji also says, other process are useless. Other process are only useless, waste of time. It's like jnana. So jnana yoga process. Brahmaji says, Shreyas Shuddhim Bhakti Mudasyate Vibhu Klishyanti Ye Kevala Bodha Labdaye Tesha Maso Kleshala Eva Sishyade Nanyat Yada Stula Tusavagadinam. The jnanis, the jnana yoga process endeavor for philosophical speculation or philosophical search. So because they are all depending on their own endeavor. So they don't want to depend on mercy of the Lord. So they try to use their material intelligence. So this is like, so this is all useless, waste of time and waste of labor. It is like beating the empty husk. Brahmaji says it's like a beating empty husk. The husk already grain is removed. And what is the use of repeatedly beating the empty husk? Nothing will get. We will not get any grain. So everything will become a useless waste of time. So waste of labor. And Brahmaji says only gain, the jnana yogis, only gain for jnana yogis is the pain. The only gain is pain. Except the pain, they will not get anything. Brahmaji says. So like that. So the whole endeavor becomes waste. Waste of time, waste of labor. So simple bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is very simple process. So very quickly we can achieve the result It's not that we are expecting any result. Like how Brahmaji, so he didn't complain to Lord. Although he performed 1,000 celestials penance, 100 years he was searching by his own endeavor. And then based on the Lord's instruction also, he was doing penance for 1,000 celestial years. So he didn't get any result. 1,000 celestial years, he didn't get any result. He didn't complain. So like some devotees, some practicing devotees, I am chanting for so many years, I didn't get any result. 1,000 celestials did not get any result. We are just chanting for few years, expecting great results. I am not getting love of Godhead, or I am not getting like pure service attitude. I am not getting bhava. I am not getting prema. So we can't expect immediately. So like how Brahmaji was so patient, 1,000 years sincerely was trying to follow. Like they say in a push, P-U-S-H. Pray until something happens. Pray until something happens. Continue to do. Something will happen, surely. So faithfully because Lord instructed in Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavatam, practice bhakti-yoga. Chant my holy name, sadatam kirtayantam. Always chant my name. That is the instruction of the Lord. So let us do that. So we don't have to expect any great results immediately. So that's our mistake. Immediately we expect great results. So we should follow in the footsteps of Brahmaji. So Brahmaji, finally Brahmaji gave his Lord Vishnu gave his beautiful darshan. Also another important lesson we get. So Brahmaji also could realize Lord's form is eternal and transcendental. Lord's form is eternal and transcendental. So that also explained in many places in Srimad Bhagavatam. So like how Lord is taking so many forms. So Lord descends to the material world. Like sometimes Lord himself comes. So 5,000 years before, Lord himself descended in the material world in Mathura, Vrindavan, Dwarka. He performed various pastimes. So he accepted the human-like body, which is suitable for the human-like pastimes. But still, it's not a material body, because many people mistakes. So many people misunderstand. So Lord's body also subjected to birth, death, old age, disease. So Ishopanishad, we find that Lord's body does not have veins. Lord's body does not have blood and bones and like this so complicated structure. So Lord does not have that kind of body. So Lord's body is made of eternity, knowledge, bliss. So that's very clear. So how there's a very beautiful sloka also, it comes in the Bhagavatam 3rd canto. Yanmartya leelau paikam swayoga maya bhalam darshayita grahitam vishmapanam swasya cha saubhagarte parampadam bhushana bhushanangam. It's a very beautiful sloka. Yanmartya leelau paikam swayogam. So Lord accepted human life form just suitable for human like pastimes. So although he performs pastimes in the material world, so which was astonishing to Lord of Vaikuntha. Even the Lord of Vaikuntha getting so much astonished so much to see the human like pastimes Lord does in the material world. Vishmapanam swasya cha saubhagarte. Even his own expansion getting so much astonished. Oh, Lord is wonderfully, especially Lord is doing pastime in the Dwarka. Dwarka is married to 16,108 wives. So simultaneously expanded into 16,108 forms and then performing beautiful pastimes. And Mathura, Vrindavan Leela also. So even the Lord of Vaikuntha, Narayana, getting so much astonished. Vishmapanam. His own expansion getting astonishment. So beautiful pastimes. So and then he takes this form by his internal potency. Yanmartya leelau baikam soyogam maya balam darshayita grahitam. By his own internal potency, so he accepts this form. So this form, like, and also, like, so the Krishna's appearance and disappearance is not like a ordinary living entity. So Krishna wants to descend to the material world, and also Krishna wants to depart to the spiritual world. So he took this spiritual body along with himself. So many people misunderstand that there's a big confusion about Maushal Leela of the Lord, disappearance pastime of the Lord. So like big confusion. The hunter shot an arrow, Krishna died. Krishna also subject to death. People say that. Even those who are worshipping Krishna, even those who go to temple, those who are practicing this, all the going to temple and taking darshan, even they believe like that. So that's a very big misconception. How Śrīla Śukadeva Gosvāmī is very nicely explaining in the 11th canto, the commentaries, and the Purport, 11th canto Purports, very nice commentaries. Whole Maushal Leela is like, is all magical performance of the Lord. It's all like a drama. It's all like a drama. So everybody knows the sons of the Krishna, they also knows what is the next scene. The sages also knows what is the next scene. Everything like a drama. The sons knows, like, we have to go, we have to keep iron rod inside, we have to dress like a sari, covered in the sari, and then we should ask the sages whether the male child or female child inside my, like, I am pregnant, like, as acting as a pregnant lady. And the sages, because Narada Muni also there. Narada Muni was also there in the amongst the assembly of sages. So they know very well what is the past, present, future. So they have to curse. Next scene is have to curse. That is the next scene. It's all like a dramatical performance. So devotees can understand. That's what Jiva Goswami is explaining. It's a magical performance. So devotees can very easily understand. This is all like so will of the Lord, and devotees also very happy to obey to the Lord's instructions. The Lord says, because Lord wants to, like, pack up all the devatas. Okay, your duty is over. Now you can go back, perform your duty, because we know the Lord sends the combination of both the portions. One is a portion from the Lord's eternal associate from Dwaraka in the spiritual world. Another portion, so, is a portion of devatas, because devatas also want to take part in Lord's pastimes. So they also appeared. So the two portions are mixed. So only the sons of Krishna. So when they went to Prabhakshetra from Dwaraka, only devatas portion went. Lord's eternal associate portion remained in Dwaraka. From this Dwaraka, they went directly to the spiritual Dwaraka. The Lord's eternal associates. Only devatas portions went to Prabhakshetra. So they only, like, fighted amongst each other. They only killed each other. And they went to respective planets. Actually, they want to obey the Lord's desires and Lord's instructions. This is the Lord's desire. We must follow. So that, like that. So it's all like Lord's. So, and also not only human form. Even Lord takes animal form, reptiles form, aquatics form. Like that's why Kundi Maharani prays Janma karma cha vishmatman ajasya karturatmanah tiryan nishishu yadakshu tatyatyanda vilambanam vidambanam. Vidambanam means completely bewildering. Your nature, your transcendental nature is very mysterious. I can't understand your transcendental nature. So, like even your performing human pastimes is also very bewildering to understand. And also you are taking form as aquatic, Matsya avatar you are taking. So most confusing. And then you are taking form as an animal, Sukara Rupa, Varaga avatar. And you are also taking man-animal combination of both man and animal. Different combinations you are taking, different forms you are taking. Tiryan Nishishu Yadakshu. Sometimes you appear as a human being, human form, sometimes you appear in aquatic form, sometimes you are appearing in animal form. Although Lord appears in animal form and aquatic form, still that body is eternal and transcendental. That is not a temporary form. That's not a temporary form. Matsya avatar is not a temporary form. Lord has a similar kind of eternal form in spiritual world. As a Matsya and also as a Varaga. Lord has a similar eternal form in the spiritual world, in Vaikuntha planets. So these all eternal forms and all transcendental forms, not material. Not only human form is transcendental, animal's form, aquatic form is material. It's not like that. All forms are transcendental. not only incarnations, not only Lord personally descends to his material world, that time also Lord's form is eternal transcendental. Not only that, Lord is taking various incarnations. Those incarnations also, those forms also eternal and transcendental. So not only that, Archa Vigraha Avatar. Lord is taking incarnation as Archa Vigraha. That form is also eternal and transcendental. That form is also eternal and transcendental. So we know like so many pastimes, deities performing so many pastimes. So we know Sakshi Gopal pastimes, we know Alarnath pastimes, we know Jagannath pastimes. That's what one child was asked. One child was attending some Gopal's camp. That's a new child, maybe some 5, maybe some 4th standard is, maybe the child may be studying. So she attended just 10 days Gopal's camp in the summer vacation. So he learned about all the pastimes, Sakshi Gopal pastime, Jagannath pastime and all those pastimes, and she started chanting also. And his relatives and all, parents also, they were not devotees. Relatives also not a devotee. Even child also not started practicing. Just enrolled for some Gopal, just 1 week, 10 days, some session, in the summer vacation. Then child learned about all the deity worship pastimes and everything, deities pastimes. And because like there are so many elements in the Gopal's camp, deity worship, some fireless cooking and art, craft, so many things, sloka chanting, so many things. And then the relatives and all, they become little worried. This child may be going in the wrong path. Generally, normal child means they should go for some playing some sports and games, and they should handle the smartphones, play games in smartphones. That is a normal child. But this child, after attending 10 days short-term course, completely changed. Not playing in the cell phones, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare, chanting always and chanting some slokas from Bhagavad Gita. Maybe child going in the wrong path. I think we should stop this. We should ask the child. Relatives and all, like they were worried. So in front of his parents, they asked the child. So I think you are going in the wrong path. So don't go to Hare Krishna and all. They will brainwash you. They will completely spoil you. Then you can't shine in your life. You can't study properly. You can't shine in your life. You can't achieve your goals like that. And they started conversing with the child. Like, hey, you are going to temple there. Only idol is worshipped. Only idol is worshipped. Where is the Lord there in the temple? Only idol is worshipped. They wanted to defeat the child. Why you are going to temple? And child also started going every week, once in a week, because the follow-up sessions were there. So why you are going temple? Only the idol is worshipped. That is just made of some material, this matter, just and some marble or stone. So and then they asked, your God can come personally, like that. God can appear personally in front of you. Do you believe that? Like that they started asking. Your God can eat your offering. In the house also, child started offering. Yeah, you started just keeping on a plate. Your God is eating. Then child immediately remembered the story of Alarnath. Yes, my Lord can eat. Immediately remember the story of Jagannath. Yes, my Lord in the form of Jagannath in Puri, he accepts 56 items, chappan bhog, in 8 times per day. 8 times per day he eats in Jagannath Puri. And Alarnath pastime. So he eats. Even now you can see his finger got burned by hot sweet rice. Even now you can see that. This is a witness. Finger got burned. So you all know the pastime of Alarnath. The Śrīketan, one Brahmana was there. He was a faithless Brahmana. He thought that whatever offering is given, then Lord will return everything back. Then he told his son, because he has to go some outstation for begging some alms. And then his son was Madhu, small child. He told him to offer. Then Madhu, small child, he offered sweet rice and everything, all the bhoga. And then he requested Lord, oh Father Father ordered so me to offer, please accept. And then he went for playing. After some time he came, the plate was still there. Bhoga all still there. Oh Lord, till now you didn't eat? Please eat, my humble request, please eat. My father, if he comes to know, he will get very angry. He can beat me also if you don't accept. He ordered me to offer. Then again he went for playing. After some time again the boy came, the Madhu. Then he started crying. Still the boga is still there. Started crying. Please eat, mom, my lord, please eat. Please accept. Like that she started sincerely praying. Then Lord personally came in front of child. Lord ate. The Lord ate everything. This went for 3 days. And mother and Madhu's mother and Madhu, they were fasting for 3 days. Because they didn't get anything back. Then father came next day. Father came, then they were starving. And then wife complained everything. And this Madhu maybe cheated. He went inside the altar, he ate everything. And then finally telling Gopal ate everything. So then father, okay, you offer. Now you go and offer. Then he was also hiding and seeing in the window side. Then he practically, physically saw, Lord personally comes and eats. So he was this faithless Brahmana. So he went and stopped Krishna, Alarnath deity. He went and stopped. You eat, if you eat everything, what we will eat? Like that he stopped. Then Lord, you are disguised in the form of Brahmana. Actually, you are a materialistic person. You don't have any faith. At least, because your child sincerely offered me with faith, love and devotion, I accepted. So that time, hot sweet rice fell on his body, fell on his chest, and also in the fingers, in the hand. Till now, you can see the finger and chest got burned. So in Alarnath deity. So child narrated all these stories. Then they become surprised. So your Lord can walk. Then immediately narrated Sakshi Gopal story. Yeah, my Lord can walk. He walked from Vrindavan to Vidyanagar, somewhere in the South India, in Andhra. So he walked all the way. He can talk, he can walk. So like that he narrated the story. And then you are all doing kirtan and dancing. Your Lord also can dance. Yeah, he immediately quoted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and danced. So like that. So actually the father mother was very happy. So the child have developed so much faith. So like that. So this should be so we should teach. So all these things to even so if the Lord is not if the Lord is material form, then how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu while taking darshan of Lord Jagannath immediately become unconscious and fainted and fell down. If this is a material form, how this will happen? So because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could see Pratima Nagi Tumi Sakshat Vrajendra Nandan. You are not a material just idol. You are a Sakshat Vrajendra Nandan. You are directly son of Nanda Maharaj. So like that. So and also the story of that old lady, Orissa old lady. He was so eager to take the darshan of Lord Jagannath. He climbed one leg, he kept on the column of Garuda, one leg he kept on the shoulder of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then immediately servant Govinda tries to stop that lady. And then forced that lady to come down. Hey, you're doing offense. You're doing offense to the Vaishnava, that is Garuda Dev, and you're doing offense to the Supreme Lord, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You're doing both offenses together. One leg you're keeping on a column of Garuda Dev, one leg you're keeping on shoulder of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You're doing this both offense, Vaishnava Aparadh and this offense to the Lord also. So, get down. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately shouted, Govinda, you are Adivasi, you are uncivilized man. He chastised. Uncivilized man. Immediately he started looking at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, started looking at the feet of that old lady. The very beautiful sloka comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prays, Aho Bhagyavadi E Bandi Ihara Paya Igara Prasade Aicha Arti Amara Vapai. You have developed so much eagerness to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. Actually, Lord Jagannath had not bestowed me such eagerness. And he is looking at the lotus feet of the old lady, and then maybe by your mercy, maybe may I also develop the same kind of eagerness to take the darshan of the deity. So the deity is material. Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has to pray like this? Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has to pray to the old lady? So praying like this. So can you? So I am depending on your mercy. So please award such eagerness to take darshan of the deity. So like that. So it's all proof that Lord's form is eternal and transcendental. So these are the lessons we get. So from this so many beautiful lessons we get. So while like I want to summarize the lessons we get from this verse. So first lesson is like Brahmaji tries to please Krishna, tries to please Creator. So he practiced bhakti yoga. So our first main only business is to please Krishna. That important lesson we get. Second lesson is we should serve Krishna with non-deceptive penance. So without any cheating, this thing. So like fasting nirjal under jal, not like that. I am following nirjal, but going inside the Ganges drinking lot of water, not like that. So non-deceptive penance. So we have to do non-deceptive penance. So that is second lesson we get. And if the third lesson, so if we practice non-deceptive, if we are non-deceptive, naturally like penance will be very easier to perform. So penance is natural for a non-deceptive devotee. Very easily can perform penances. Like this Purushottam month also, many devotees observing so many vratas. So just to please Krishna. So they don't want anything from observing this Purushottam month vrata. And number 4, like how we should be very serious about the purpose of our existence. How Brahmaji also prayed. So please show me, please reveal your form, please reveal purpose of our existence. That's a lesson we get. And we should understand the science of ātma-tattva, both jīva and Paramātmā. And another lesson, Krishna's form is eternal and transcendental. So another important point, like whatever Krishna gives, accept. Don't expect anything from Krishna. So that lesson also we get from this purport and the translation. And our last portion of the purport, Prabhupada glorifies Srimad Bhagavatam. So our association should be like we should keep Bhagavatam in the center. Association of devotees means we should keep Bhagavatam in the center. So like that. So we should keep Bhagavatam in the center, and then we should associate with the devotees. That lesson also we get from the purport. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. So I like to end here. So any comments? Anyone like to add? Hare Krishna.
Thank you for nice class. Actually, as devotee, we have good faith in deity. We believe all the stories. First time Saksha Gopal, we believe. But those who are non-believers, there are sometimes challenges. Say, for example, in the last Rathayatra, in one rock was broken and Jagannath fell down the road. So how to convince those who do not have faith in deity? So if you think deity is so powerful, why this type of things are happening? So how to convince them?
Okay. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. So Prabhuji, yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji is asking, like how we have, as a devotees, practicing devotees, we have belief in deity worship and everything. So we believe. So, but those are non-believers, sometimes Prabhuji also quoted an incident, like sometimes in the Rathayatra, I think previous year, something Jagannath himself fell down. So if the deity is personality, how can deity can fall off? So how to convince non-believers? That is a question of Prabhuji. So my humble understanding is like how, so if you see, you take darshan of various temples in Puri, even you see Vimala Devi deity, like sometimes I see so many cockroaches, so many flies. So they can raise this question also. Your deity is personality, how cockroach can go inside the altar Lord can stop that cockroach, na? Lord can stop that flies. Lord can stop the ants, like that. So for us only cockroach, ants and all. For him, mamai mamso jiva loge jiva bhuta sanatana manasashtan indriyadi prakriti sthani karshadi. All the living entities are part and parcel. So, and also sometimes even the Mughals attacks. Mughals also attacked various temples in Vrindavan. That time pujaris has to take the deity and then hiding in some bushes and then thinking that maybe Krishna will reveal to one devotee. They have that faith. Krishna will reveal to some devotee passing here this side. So again this will be installed. This deity will be installed. So they have this strong belief. So exactly it happened exactly like that. So like devotees sometimes people like steals the deities also and goes away. It also may happen. Your deity is personality, how he can't protect himself? Why he can't protect himself? Like that. So like so many questions they can ask. So like my understanding is like but devotees don't get bewildered. Devotees don't get bewildered because of this various, because all this, even in the Mausha Leela, Lord, actually main purpose of Mausha Leela is to bewilder those who are non-believers. Just to create confusion, just to create misunderstanding amongst the non-believers. So those who are impersonalists, those who are materialists, those who are jnanis, so Krishna don't want to reveal himself. So like, but devotees, they don't get bewildered. Of course devotee feels very bad, feels very sad, and somebody stole deity and then very sad, cries also. But he goes ahead and installs another deity and worships. So because like so Krishna can appear at any time. So anytime he can appear mercifully. So because of the Acharya's request, because of pure devotee's request, Krishna can descend. So anytime. So like that. So like even whatever happened, so still Lord's body, Lord's vigraha is eternal and transcendental. So like devotees have, so this pastimes, this all like we should take it as a pastimes. The devotees should take this as, there may be some reasons we may not understand, because Lord's pastimes are inconceivable. So beyond the reach of our mind and senses. Brahmaji says, Manaso vapucho vacho vaibhavam tava gochara. We can't understand these inconceivable pastimes with our tiny brain and intelligence. There may be some higher reasons. So maybe one of the Lord's pastimes. So we don't know, we can't understand. So but still, like devotee continues his faith. So that's my humble understanding, Guruji. So only thing we should say that inconceivable. This is inconceivable. So we can't try to understand with our tiny brain. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. I can hear a little bit. Prabhuji also can repeat it if not able to. Yes. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So the question is, like how, like while practicing devotion service, like we may have some anarthas or we may commit some offenses. So we may not know that sometimes. So how to examine, like whether actually we are getting some progress or we are getting stuck somewhere. So this is a question. So my humble understanding is like, so we should never think that we have become perfect in practice of our devotion service. So even like somebody like achieves prema bhakti, the level of pure love of Godhead, so even they should not think that I have achieved prema So still like they are depending on the association of devotees, depending on the mercy of the Lord. They should continue like that. Still I have not perfected in practice, in my practice. Still I have so many anarthas. So all the prema bhakti means complete eradication of all the anarthas. So while praying to the Lord, see they always in the deity worship also, although one may do the deity worship so perfectly, but still what we chant when we come outside, we chant aparada sodana mantra. Aparada sakashrani kriyante aganashamaya dashogam vidima matva samaksha madhusudana. I am committing so many thousands of offenses. Actually, it's not that we are committing offense. Although we are doing so perfectly, so carefully deity worship, still we should consider that we are committing so many offenses. Please kindly, oh Lord, please kindly excuse me. So we should keep this prayerful mood always. So we don't know, it's like sometimes unknowingly we may commit some offense, sometimes we don't know what anarthas we have inside. So sometimes we can test also. Bhakti pareshan va virakti ranyatracha. Bhakti, that is a test, 11th canto. So whether advancing in bhakti, that can be tested, how much detachment we develop towards material things. Whether we have material desires or whether we have tendency to satisfy material desires. So that I think we can test it. So we can test whether we are hankering after getting material objects or material things for using it for our own sense gratification. So because Bhagavatam says you can test like this. So you can test. So we are testing. Even the testing process, I have not become perfect. So although we may achieve perfection in our practice, still we should think that we have not achieved perfection. We are committing so many offenses. We have so many anarthas. So then only we can keep a prayerful mode always. So that's my humble answer. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. And the Srimad Bhagavatam ki